everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. If you're new to this channel, welcome, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for tuning in once again. So you've watched these videos in the natural hair community mentioning protective styling this, protective styling that,
do this, do that, it doesn't work, this breaks.
And you've tried it and you haven't seen any improvement so far. Well, I'm here to reassure you that protective styling does work, and protective styling has been a big part of growing my hair. So if it's not working for you, there's probably a few things that you are missing, and I'm just going to mention it in this video. Do stick around to the end of the video to see which part you've been missing. And please don't forget to comment, like, share, and of course hit that subscribe button down below to join the family. So the first question is, what is protective styling? Protective styling basically is any hairstyle that keeps you from manipulating, from touching your hair, from combing your hair every single day of the week. It can be simple as just tying your hair in a bun, to box braids, knotless braids, your Senegalese twists, your waves, your sew-ins, and your wigs. As long as you're not touching your hair every single day, trying to style it, trying to comb it, trying to make it look presentable, that is what I call a protective style. So why should I do protective styling? Protective styling helps in low manipulation. So here we're trying as much as possible not to manipulate our hair. So protective styling can be amazing if it's done the correct way, and really trashy if it's done the wrong way. So I'm just going to tell you a few things that you might be doing that makes your protective style not work, not retain as much length as possible when you're doing a protective style. So the first reason is the way you take down your protective style. I could say this is the most important part of protective styling. So if you find yourself taking down a protective style that took you 6 hours to install, and you just take it out just in under an hour, something is wrong. Something is definitely wrong. You probably just broke your hair. All the hair that grew when you were doing that protective style, it's gone, guys. But I get it, guys, like we don't have time to be all up in our hair the whole day. But get this, guys, you've been in the protective style for a month now. You haven't been bothering your hair for an entire month. I mean, what could hurt just taking it down for a day? I mean, you've had a break the whole month. So what is a day? Just take your time, look for a movie, relax. Don't have any other things you want to do that day. Just take down your hair. So rule of thumb is, the longer it takes for you to install that hairstyle, the longer it will take for you to take it down. So just stick with that. I'm sure you'll be safe. Okay, talking about taking down, it brings me to my second point, the installation process. The installation process is pretty much just as important as the takedown process. You have to be mindful of how you install your protective style. There are some things you should take note when you're installing. Is the person mishandling your hair? Is the person being rough on your hair? Does this hairdresser have a queue of other clients waiting for her to do their hair? Is she in a rush? You know, because those factors are going to influence the amount of breakage and manipulation that you're going to have when you're installing that hairstyle. So just be mindful of those factors. Don't just ignore them. Like, if you see her being rough on your hair, trying to do things as fast as she can, if you just keep quiet and she's being rough on your hair, she's combing your hair out, breakage is happening, and therefore when you're not taking down that hairstyle, you're not going to see any progress because your hair was broken when you were installing that hairstyle. And the second thing you should take note when you're doing your installation is this hairstyle too tight? Are my roots literally screaming? Am I planning on buying some pain meds when I'm going home so that I can sleep well? Can I do my facial expressions? Can I actually smile? Can I actually laugh? Can I actually move my head whichever direction? People We always say it will grow out. Let's just give it a few days and the hairstyle will just grow out. I, for one, am guilty of that. But these days I tell her, you're pulling me, it's too tight. You cannot be sacrificing your edges for one protective style. The edges that will take almost a year to grow out. If it's tight, let's just tell the hairdresser to be a little bit gentler and not pull your hair. And the final thing relating to installation is, what did you do to your hair prior to the installation? Did you do some protein treatment? Did you do some hair masks? Did you do some TLC on your natural hair before you actually put it under a protective style? Because you cannot be jumping from one protective style to another without actually paying attention to your hair, without actually taking care of that hair that you're just putting under protective style. Maybe there's a lot of buildup in that hair. The pores are clogged, so your hair growth is slowed down. So make sure you just do some TLC on your natural hair. Make sure it's moisturized. Make sure the moisture is locked in. Make sure you did all the good stuff to your hair before you actually go and install a protective hairstyle. The other thing that causes you to not see any length retention when you're doing your protective hairstyle is how much time are you keeping that protective hairstyle in for. The maximum time that I've put a hairstyle for is about 3 months, and the minimum is about 2 weeks. So from my experience with protective hairstyling, I personally think the longer the better. I just noticed that if I put a hairstyle for 2 weeks, that means that like every 2 weeks I'm touching my hair, I'm combing it, I'm trying to put some protein treatment, I'm doing everything to my hair every 2 weeks, as compared to every 1 to 2 months, for example. Imagine comparing someone who has put a hairstyle for 2 months and is just touching and manipulating their hair in 2 months, and you are manipulating your hair every 2 weeks. Obviously, the one who manipulates every 2 months is going to retain more length than you who does it every 2 weeks. But at the same time, keeping your protective style in for a long time goes hand in hand with taking down process, because the more it stays on your hair, the more buildup it does, the more tangled it becomes. So it means that the more time you spend detangling your hair, the more time you have to spend to take it down. Okay, the next point is make sure you're doing the correct protective style for your hair. What is the right protective style? So when you're choosing your protective style, just consider, 1, how much time does it take to install that protective style? Remember, when you're installing your hair, there is manipulation, and when you're taking it down, there is manipulation. So I did say that the longer the installation process, the longer the takedown process. So our goal is to reduce manipulation as much as possible. So that means that we're looking for a hairstyle that takes a short time to install, because it means it takes what? A short time to take down, meaning less manipulation. For example, I can compare micro braids versus let's say medium-sized knotless braids or box braids or whatever braids that you're doing, but in a medium size. Can you see how much time it will take for you to put micro braids in? That is the amount of time that it would take for you to remove those micro braids, as compared to those medium-sized knotless braids. Of course, they take time as well, but not as much as micro braids. So now our main goal now is to just get our hairstyles that take short time to install, so that it takes a short time to take down. At the end of the day, the medium-sized knotless braids or box braids or whatever is better than the micro braids, because this has more manipulation than this. The other thing to consider when choosing the right protective style is its weight. How heavy is this hairstyle? This is specifically for my natural girlies with finer hair. Just consider if, for example, faux locks, like those super long faux locks for very fine thin hair. I've seen some people's hair actually falling off with the hair and the root, and already there's a gap on their hair because the hairstyle is just too heavy. So just consider that before installing a protective style, because it will in the long run affect you, because your hair has to hold up that braid, it has to hold up that lock. So just make sure you don't put hairstyles that are too heavy. The next reason why your protective styles are not helping you retain your length is because you keep on doing the same protective style over and over
and over and over and over
and over again. This month I'm doing a knotless braids with the curls. Next month I'm doing knotless braids with the boho knotless braids. Next month I'm doing knotless braids in a different color. Next month I'm doing knotless braids with the French curls. The main thing you're doing is what? It's a knotless braid. You keep on doing the same thing over and over again. You're going to have some permanent partings on your hair. This certain section on your hair is just going to be holding that knotless braid for the whole year. Of course, you might be changing boho braid, French curls, but it's still the same medium-sized knotless braids, the same parting. So in the long term, that is going to cause traction alopecia because you're putting tension on that hair that keeps on holding that braid. It keeps on holding that extension the entire year. So at the end of the day, you're not going to see any progress because of your repetitive knotless braids that you keep on doing, if you get what I mean. So try to switch up your hairstyles. I, for one, switched up my hairstyles. These are my hairstyles for the whole year. You can be rotating 3 hairstyles at a time. You can be rotating 2 hairstyles, but just make sure you don't put the same hairstyle over and over again. And another thing about switching up your hairstyles, so you'll find out that not every style grows the whole hair. Like, each style grows a certain section of your hair. You might find that if you want to grow your edges, maybe just do your knotless braids but with a fringe, so that your edges are not manipulated. Then if you want to grow the middle part of your hair, just do your cornrows, but you never figure that out if you keep on doing the same hairstyle over and over and over again. So let's just try to switch up, just experiment, so that you know your hair, that she likes this, she doesn't like that, something like that. Because the hairstyles that are good for my hair, it's very possible that they're not good for your hair. Everyone has got like different hairstyles that work differently for them. So just experiment so that you know which hairstyle works for you and which hairstyle doesn't work for you. So guys, for your bonus tip, make sure you take care of your hair when you're in a protective style. Don't just neglect it and say it's safe under the protective style, and you no longer put your bonnets, you no longer have your satin scarves, your satin pillowcases, you no longer take care of your hair. Just take care of it in and out of a protective style, and your hair will tell you if it's right. Just spray a little bit of water here and there, and please avoid loading products on your hair when your hair is in a protective style, because those products are going to clog your pores, and when you're taking it down, you're going to see a lot of buildup, and that's probably the product that just stayed on the surface of your hair, making your hair look messy and stuff. So yeah guys, remember that this hair journey is personal to you. Learn your hair, what she likes, what she doesn't like, what she thrives in, what she prefers, because not everyone's hair journey is the same. Please don't forget to comment, like, and hit that subscribe button if you liked this video. But yeah, it's goodbye for me. It's goodbye for now. Bye.